Talk Healthy to Me with our host, Kelly Springer. Kelly, how are you? And I know you're excited about our guest.
I am thrilled to have our guest. So today we are truly thrilled to have true fitness industry icon with us, Laura Ribbins. Based in Grand Cayman, which I was just saying I'm jealous of, Laura is renowned for international fitness presenter and master trainer with over 4 decades of experience. She's inspired countless professionals worldwide through her dynamic workshops, innovative training methods, and cutting edge aquatic fitness programs. Beyond the stage, Laura has choreographed and starred in fitness workouts and pioneered the SPRI Aquatic Resistance Program and founded Aquatic Kids, a transformative children's swim program. In today's episode, we'll uncover Laura's insights, mindset, movement, and nutrition, and how busy professionals can integrate wellness into their lives for better productivity and success. So get ready for an empowering conversation packed with actionable strategies, and let's dive in.
Thank you so much, Kathy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we're so excited to have you. And I loved going through just that little intro because I started as a teenager teaching water aerobics.
I love it. And it's still going on today.
Yeah. I'd have to show up early, and I also taught swim lessons and all of that. And now my daughter has taken that over, but I love it. So tell me all about you.
Well, first of all, I don't do age. So this decade, it seems like I've been teaching forever. My joy is whether they're babies, little teeny 3-week-old babies, or whether it's, someone 96 years old, like my mom. I love working with people, humans, that when they have that look of joy of movement, whether they're swimming, whether they're out walking and realizing, oh, this feels good, or it's skiing, as you would know from where you live, good hard day of skiing, and you come in and you're like, I just, the joy of feeling healthy. And that can be just swimming in a pool, that can be walking down the street, that can be doing yoga. So that is my biggest passion. When I came to Grand Cayman years ago, I was a school teacher here. And I don't think those kids ever spent much time inside. We were outside all the time doing things. Where I was raised, Kathy, with if the sun is out, why are you indoors? Get out. When it gets dark, then you can go play and then get back in. And I think that was a huge contributing factor to why being in nature and feeling it, being outdoors and being active feels so rewarding for me. And I enjoy spreading that passion.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. I was doing a presentation yesterday, and this came up of someone said, "How do you find joy or self-care?" And I said, it started with my kids were little, and the same exact thing that you would say. We took them skiing and swimming, and now I get to do those things as they're adults with them. But those are the best days. They really are, and they feel like self-care, even though you're putting work into it. It's the most rewarding. My mind is clear, and I know when I'm not moving, it has an impact on my mental health.
I would,
So, sorry.
no, I was going to say, Laura, and Kelly, I totally see that movement. If I'm not moving like a day like today, where I have back to back to back to back to back podcasts, I need to get moving as quickly as possible, and I feel it. And there are ways to move when you're in your chair or get up and move around and all this stuff. We're gonna have a move around podcast, but I understand this because when I used to be stagnant all the time, Laura, it really affected my health in so many ways, and it's such little things as you talked about.
Well, I was going to progress to say that doing all the fitness industry and trying to turn on light bulbs in people's mind on, oh, I can do that, and then they take a step forward. What really got me concerned on my passion right now is that over the COVID years, I loved it. I started listening to podcasts every day. I was walking because we weren't allowed to work and other things. But what I realized, there were so many people at home now working long hours, trying to push those to get to the 6 figures, to get to the 7 figures, all very work driven. And they were losing their health, just trying to find their wealth. And so I was talking to someone one day and I said, you know what? If business owners and entrepreneurs lost weight, they would find more money. And of course, you could play around with that phrase, but it's so true. And they were just sort of, another way of saying it, if they decrease their midline, they increase their bottom line. And then I got into a deep dive of, okay, well, how can I help? How can I help coach one-to-one, one-to-many, teach them, educate them on just how important movement is to start with, and then along with nutrition and mindset, good sleep, and less stress.
Well, it all goes hand in hand. And that's where, with every presentation, I always say, like, it's not just one thing. You just taking a B vitamin is not going to change your life. It's all these things in combination, and an understanding and education. And I think that what you're doing in the way of educating, and showing people the movements of what to do and how they can do it safely are probably a big part of it.
Yes, and like Neil just said, something as simple as setting a timer on your computer and getting up every 45 minutes and just move for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Walk around, stretch yourself out. And if you, for those people with bodies that are already aching and their back hurts, their knees hurt, to get up out of the chair, Kelly, isn't as quick as maybe you or I could do it. It's so easy for them to just put that off. But if they start with one little baby step of just getting up every 45 minutes and moving for 1 or 2 minutes, that's going to accumulate into them saying, oh, that's no big deal. I just get up and now I'll walk around for 3 or 4 minutes. And you just set a timer in a computer.
Well, we were talking today because people don't like to do what they're not good at. And I think that this is where, with food or with exercise or even sleep, if we're not good at meditating, if we're not good at exercise, if we're not good at understanding how to put good foods in, it's not fun. So I think with little steps and those little pieces of education, and they, like you said, get that self-efficacy, then they become good at it and it becomes fun after that.
And yes, I totally agree. But I love this word that I've been hearing a lot of with many of my mentors, is the word shift. And even in what you do, we're getting people just to shift, whether it's one tiny little baby step. I mean, and then how do you want to show up? In other words, if you're feeling alive and healthy and you're working with your clients, it's going to become contagious to them. They're going to feel like, oh, where'd she get all this energy from? And it does take tiny baby steps. Just change one thing. Same thing with food and nutrition, as you know. Don't go full hog into starving yourself and going off the deep end with how you're going to change what's going in your mouth. But just take one small thing that you're doing now that you could change. Maybe it's just drinking more water. Maybe it's having less snacks, just making those better choices. And then I think it does not, if we seriously direct at business owners and entrepreneurs, everyone's on a schedule. So why can't we schedule in our health at the same time and make it part of our daily routine?
I think we're going to get there. It was interesting because, believe me, we work hard and long hours and sitting here too. But I just put out an email a couple of weeks ago to my entire team saying, we need to take time. We live, even though we live in the tundra, we also live in a really cool place where we have a spa that we can use. We have a whole bunch of different kind of really neat things that we can do. We need to take time. Like, can our whole team take off part of the afternoon and go there once a month? Yes, we can. We would be way more productive that whole month if we knew we were going to be doing this. Or how can we have a giant TV that I can see right in front of me? How can we put on like a movement class? Because we own some movement classes and things like that. But you're right. We need to schedule it in.
And it goes to rewiring how we're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And the scheduling in can only, your ideas, you just gave her great ideas. And I know a lot of the times with clients in workplace wellness, they just can't fathom the idea of what? We're all going to take the afternoon off. What about this? What about this? What about this? But the reward by them doing it, Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, they come back full steam ahead and want to give you 100% more.
Right. Right. And it is, I like the word shift. I'm going to use that honestly, Laura. Like that word's a powerful word and it's shifting mindsets, it's shifting body. I mean, I think that that's a really, really neat word. And I think we're all ready for the shift. I think we can feel it here with every Instagram post I'm seeing, the TV, the news. People are ready for a shift.
And the other thing I loved is the fact about being upgrade. Give yourself an upgrade. And to be successful, I mean, first of all, if someone said, to where do I start, Laura? I'd say, first of all, you've got to find out your why. Like, why do you even want to be healthier? My mom was 96, very active. About 20 years ago, she said, Laura, I want activities I can do because I always want to get down and bend and tie my shoe. I want to be able to get up off the floor. I want to play with the grandchildren. I want to keep skiing. So we gave her a little program, and to this day, she does it every single morning. But she's not dealing with any issues physically. There's no sore anything. Whereas my heart goes out to people that are already in a situation, whether it's overweight or not, where because of the sitting down, prolonged sitting, which is actually like the new smoking, sitting for long periods of time, the back, the postural muscles, they're just how they're breathing. We all know how you're here now on Instagram, you see it all over the place. We never were taught how to breathe when we were little. And never, I mean, how powerful is that now to go back in time and teach those little guys how to breathe and how to take time out to breathe. All these tools in the toolboxes we have, and networking, and like you said, community, with networking with other people, whether it's in your field, but to just surround yourself with the essence of where you want to be and how you want to show up.
Yep. And showing up is just the part of the battle. And it's like in anything, and it's becoming better in anything. And a lot of times they think it's going to be an overnight success, Kelly. And when you go and you create these plans for people, as a dietitian, you see specifically enough, they think, oh, it's going to be easy, right? But it takes a team effort, and it takes
It
constant.
does.
It's
It
not going to
does.
happen overnight. And
Well, you're changing the, like she just said again, that word shift, but you're shifting your thought process and what you were taught, what your parents did. All of those different things come into play. And so it is going to take a little bit of time because we do revert back to those habits and what we know, what's kind of ingrained in there. So I like the fact, Laura, that you said, what is your why? Like, why are you doing this? Because I think that if you truly do have a why, you're more likely to follow through. But I also wanted to ask you, what are some tips? Like, what are some things that you do every day? Because I would love those for myself. The fact that you had your mom do certain things every day, like I would love to know what do you do every day?
Well, you guys might find this interesting, but the first thing I do is, after I was reading, I follow Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's amazing. And one of the things he was saying with his studies is 83% of the United States wakes up every single morning and goes straight to their phone. And if you think about it, Kelly and Neil, the phone is the past. Every single thing in your phone is the past. What he's suggesting is the power of, when you're going from subconscious to conscious, you think your day out. Oh, today I get to talk to Kelly and Neil. I'm super excited. I've been excited about that since 5:30 this morning. And what am I going to wear? How am I going to feel when it's over? Do I feel like I helped? I go through the whole thing of how I want that experience to happen. And what Dr. Joe Dispenza is saying with his research is, those chances are, how you lay out your day, it will happen like that.
Mhm.
Because you've already gone from subconscious to conscious, and your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. In other words, it's just going to happen that way because that's the way it thinks it's going to happen. So that's the first thing. The second thing is drinking and consuming plenty of water. So for example, I drink a lot of water, but the mistake here again, what I advise people on is, if you know you need to start drinking water and you're not drinking at least 2 liters a day, just baby steps, just a little bit more in the morning, a little bit more in the afternoon, because then your body will adapt and absorb that water. But if you're suddenly slugging more than normal, your body's just going to get rid of it anyhow. And that's one of the number one reasons people don't like to drink water. I thought this was super interesting. Number one, they have to go to the bathroom too much. So it's going to disrupt their day. But this is crazy. Number one reason people traveling don't drink water because they don't want to use the bathrooms, the public bathrooms. So I thought that was super interesting. So water, taking care of my brain in the morning. And these simple exercises my mom does are things that you would never think of. She squats down and stands up 10 times, making sure the squat is correct and so forth, because that's all your major muscle groups in your lower part of your body. She'll hold 2 objects in her hand, doesn't matter what it is, and just pretend she's putting them on a shelf 10 times, lifting them up, put them on the shelf, because that's going to use the upper body. She does a plank. So she's on her elbows and her toes doing a full body plank, which looks like someone suspended off the floor on their forearms. The last time I did a plank with her, I was next to her and I said, Mom, how long are you doing this for? Kelly, we already had done a minute. And she said, I don't know, whenever I, want to stop, because she was thinking about something else. Yeah. So she works on her core. She works on her mobility. She writes down in her memoirs every morning, because going from pen to paper uses 6 more parts of your brain than texting. She is very well read and uses her brain. And she's the one that pointed out to me that there's some research that just came out that for people in the I'll say mid-age, what is that nowadays? I don't even know, maybe that's 40. People 40 on up, if they start getting active and are consistently exercising, they can decrease the risk of Alzheimer's by 90%. And the other bit she said is people that have the gene, they can actually, by them starting to exercise consistently, they can they can delay the onset by 11 years. So
significant.
So she's using her brain. She's in the one thing I would say that she needs to work more of is with community, because community and besides our family, community and talking to people and being around people is proven to be one of the longevity pieces. And did she do all that in one go? No. She had to figure out what worked for her and going forward. And I think the biggest advice we can help people at this point, and like Neil said, I think it's going to start roller coasting. People are more open. They're hearing about more holistically how to take care of yourself. Maybe what's my other choices besides pharmaceuticals, and how a plant-based diet might have some better benefits for us. So as people are hopefully becoming more well-read, are speaking out and are sharing, if people just discover, why do they want to be fit? Do they want to move around more comfortably? Do they want to be more productive? Just walking for 10 minutes outside can get all the serotonin and the rest of it rocking in your brain, and you'll be more productive and creative up to the next 2 hours. So by us educating people with just things they might be interested in, which I know you do big time, and that's my goal, is to once someone's going to hear that and they go, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know my brain was 70% water. And if I'm not drinking water, I might not be thinking straight. And, then it goes from there. Right.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely love it. It'd be fun to do a retreat or something with you too, to learn more from you. It's super exciting. My daughter right now is going to school at Ole Miss for exercise physiology and nutrition, because I do think that the two partner so perfectly together. She just got her first job as a trainer. She just passed her test. So I hope that she follows in your footsteps, and she's that 96-year-old who's doing planks. So I try to be a great role model for her too, and go back and forth. So I hope that we're all staying active and healthy, but you're such an inspiration.
Thanks. And you just nailed it with being a role model. Think what a difference parents would make with their kids with electronics. Just getting more activity in, and the kids will love it. They get time with their parents.
They love it. They love it. And that's, And it made a world of difference for us and got us out of the house. And guess what? When you're outside exercising, you don't have to clean up messes.
Well, I think the wellness formula is, it's everything, right? How your emotions, how you feel, being able to, everything from processing what's happening. And like what you said about your staff, taking them to having an afternoon off and letting them be totally present, like in the moment. That's another whole area of our wellness that we sometimes skip.
Yeah.
Totally. Wow, Kelly, great guest, Laura.
I know, Laura, you're great. Thank you.
She's enthusiasm, and I'm interested in all what she does for kids swimming. That's really a huge thing, and she has some really interesting stuff. So, Laura, best place people can connect with you. Where can they go?
I pop everything on a website called successwithlaura.com. And there's a bunch of different toolboxes, free things on there. Toolboxes on tips of getting started to get rid of 5 pounds, or, it's all on there. A lot of fun stuff.
Oh, it's great. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much, you guys. This is a treat.
All right, go to kellyschoice.org and check out Kelly's book again. Tell everyone about your book again, Kelly.
Yeah, the new weight loss era. So perfect pair right here. So it has nutrition and exercise for each chapter. There's goal setting. So it would partner perfectly with Laura's program. So thank you again, Laura. I hope you have a very healthy and happy rest of your week.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Neil.
All right, that was the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and Talk Healthy to Me with Kelly Springer. Guys, take care.